Rescuers had received a call about saving a dog that was fully stuck in tar near an abandoned building. The dog could have been left unnoticed, but it begged people to help. It was a complicated case, but everything turned out well. All the tar was washed away from the dog, and the dog decided to clean itself a little bit too, rubbing against the hay. A man decided to record the stormy sea on his camera near the shore when he suddenly saw a cat that first seemed to look drowned, but the cat appeared to cry for help. So the man left the camera to his wife and rushed into the water. The confused woman didn't record the moment of the rescue. Well, as you can see, the cat is now on the shore. The poor one drank a lot of water, but it's all right now.
Ой, маленькая, наголодалась.
A small tortoise missed the ebb and failed to swim away in the sea. The sharp spikes from the ground and mangroves could be a barrier. The tortoise was lucky that boiling hot day, as this man was nearby. This woman helps homeless animals find new owners. This baby was thrown away to a landfill. What a cruel thing to do. Look at these innocent little eyes. The babe was taken to a shelter in hopes to find new loving owners. Ice again, and a new dog. Rescue workers put a fire ladder towards this husky to dispose the weight and not to fall through the ice. The rescue was a success. Like in the following story. However, they had to chase this dog around the frozen lake. The frightened dog fell through the ice. The rescue team had a cold bath too, although they were ready and wore special clothes filled with air to float. The dog was scared and didn't understand what was going on and even tried to bite the rescuers. A crowd of spectators exploded into loud applause to thank the rescuers for a job well done.
Hurrah!
A deer got stuck between the gate bars. The rescuers arrived to free him as fast as they could. The poor deer was very scared and tried to run away from the rescuers. But he was so weak, having been stuck there without food and water. He was really confused and stressed out. But finally he was released. That's so cool that everything's all right with the deer now. It's a story about a poor dog who got stuck in a grain waterfall. Strong water flow prevented him from swimming out. It was also dangerous to help him. 4 people pulled hands towards him, holding each other, risking their lives. After several attempts, they could do it. There was so much joy and applause after the successful rescue. It is so heartwarming. A skunk was stuck in a hole in the wall. She was trying to help herself, but it was useless. Rescuers were trying to hook the skunk with a rope and pull it out, but that didn't work. So they tried to break through the wall and make a bigger hole to get the skunk out. It was hard for him to get out, but in the end, they succeeded. The baby was stunned and confused, but happy and free. What a relief. The rescuers in St. Petersburg, Russia, rushed to help a cat that somehow had got stuck in a car wheel. It was a rather serious challenge, as the hole was too narrow. With the help of vegetable oil, they tried to push the cat's head through, but failed. Later, they decided to use some special equipment to cut the metal wheel. All the rescuers wanted was not to hurt the poor cat. It was extremely delicate work, but they succeeded and the naughty creature was set free. These people accidentally stopped in the field and saw a fox stuck in a trap. He was completely lonely. There was no one to help him around. His foreleg was stuck there and he couldn't get it out. He was very scared and tried to run away while the woman tried to free his paw. After a safe release, this fox ran away. What a stroke of luck. A group of tourists spotted a zebra foal stuck in the trees. The baby was frightened when the rescuers surrounded her to help, but they kindly reassured her. They easily freed her. It's scary to think what would have happened to this baby if they hadn't noticed her. The zebra foal wanders through the trees and heads to them right as a pair of adult zebras cross the road behind their safari vehicle. So these two adults were nearby when the foal was freed. There were a lot of tears in the group. He's with his family and is walking and nursing from his mom just fine. Animals often get in trouble during winter. This exhausted deer had wandered onto the partially frozen lake, fallen, and was not able to get up. This guy was successfully rescued, brought to land, and given time to rest before releasing. Be careful on the ice, bro! This man enjoys traveling with his pet dog, rafting again, and no sign of trouble. But the water stream made the boat move toward the fallen tree. A strong hit, the dog fell over, and the stream started carrying it under the tree. Fortunately, the pet hung onto its lead. The owner reacted quickly and pulled it out into the boat. The trip continued, and soon the accident was forgotten. Near the water basin in Manchester when he heard the cries of a woman. She turned out to be the owner of two dogs, which were drowning in a frozen reservoir at that moment. The dogs were trying to climb out, but the ice was breaking and didn't let them get out. Well, Timofey and his loyal pet dog Keto rushed into the frozen reservoir. Timofey helped one dog first and then came back into the water for the second one. All this time, Keto was supporting the dogs with his moving around and touching their noses. Luckily, Timofey turned out to be a swimmer and diver that had been used to swimming in cold waters, and everything ended okay. Long water flow. A poor cow is trapped in the canal. It's scary to imagine what could have happened if the rescuers hadn't done their job so delicately. They had only one try to catch the animal into the excavator bucket. Well done. Sometimes dogs can act as rescuers ready to help their fellow animals. It's worth to mention Labradors are trained to save people from water, and he coped easily with a little relative. Good boy. Until it was set free. How the crazy cat got in there, nobody knows. You may have seen crazy cat videos before, but probably not like this one. In typical cat fashion, after the heroic firefighters finally saved the cat from the danger, it just ran off without even a thank you meow. But it's so cool that he's free now. Good job. Stuck between the gate bars. Poor baby kept desperately bleeding, calling for mom. He was stressed and overwhelmed. Finally, he was released. His mother was worried about him. And that's so cool, and everything is all right with that little guy now. poor red fox had become stuck with his paw caught in a tree. They easily found the fox. The tree was very strong and hard to open up, but after some time, the rescuer was able to open the tree to release the poor thing. She was so stressed and tried to bite him. Unfortunately, this fox will most likely lose his paw that was caught. The good news is the three-footed fox can still live a happy life. Directly after releasing, the fox immediately ran away. We wish the best to this beautiful creature. Now he can return to his family and be free. A deer was trapped in the muddy bed of a dry irrigation canal. Reporter Kale and photographer Dave found her. The location is very remote, and no one else was around to help. Luckily, Dave had a length of rope in his car. For around half an hour, they tried everything. The canal bed was very unstable, and they could only go out a few feet. The best approach seemed to be looping the rope around the deer behind her elbows several times. The poor deer was really scared and ran away from them into the mug again when they released her for the first time. They needed to move away as soon as she was free, so she wouldn't run right back into the mud. Finally, they got the deer out. She ran away immediately to her children. Thank God these two men had noticed her, and now she is free and safe. Frankie got a call about a deer with her head stuck in a bucket. He had to act fast. When he came, the deer was already in the water. The deer in the water was swimming in circles. The water was ice cold.
A little bit more. Almost. I got it.
She was going further and further out. Frankie was not confident to swim. Thank God, he took out the bucket. But the deer was so confused and continued going in circles. She understood that the danger had passed and was very calm. It was so great seeing her run off. As we know, deer love to be stuck in a fence. This young deer too. But of course, it's not funny for this guy at all. As people noticed what was going on, they stopped and got out to help the young fellow. He looked very tired. How did the deer get so stuck? Several strong people did their best to free him. It was hard. People helped this poor guy to find his way home. After such an adventure, he'll think straight before running into a fence again. A dog trapped on the river due to rain. Rescuers came with the tractor and put a crane on a small island to pull the dog out. It was really dangerous for her. One of the rescuers went down to get her. Now she's in a safe place. So lucky. The dog was stranded on a half-frozen lake. A drone operator had been keeping an eye on the little guy. When these two jumped in their canoe, it took an hour to get her in. She got on shore unharmed, but stressed and very hungry. Rescuers are trying to find her owner. This cute doggie needs her family, but I'm sure she won't last long because somebody will take this sweet girl to a new home. A marten wanted to cross the river, and it was hard for her. A boatman decided to help her. She was so glad to be near the shore that she could not restrain herself and jumped ahead of time. Goodbye, little Martin. A ginger tomcat has strayed onto a neighboring balcony and is now stuck. It's kinda hard to believe. His neighbor opposite is risking his own life to rescue his cat. Now for the return. If the cat struggles, they could both be unbalanced. Thankfully, the cat is placid. And miraculously, the neighbor's reckless and ill-advised rescue effort doesn't end in disaster. Feathery fellows were more lucky. The exposed bone removed. The tail was mended and healed. Luckily, healing was completed. She was well on the way to return to the wild. So she's got that, and we will hope that she lives a long and prosperous life. This elephant accidentally fell into the canal while drinking water. The sidewalls were inclined and smooth, and the poor creature couldn't get out of its trap. Creating some kind of a ladder, the wildlife officers were trying to help the giant. But it depended only on the elephant, if it could use the ladder or not, and he was doing his best. It took him several hours and he failed many times, but at last he succeeded. Using the ladder, the elephant got out of the water and ran away as fast as he could. The rescue mission ended in 6 daughter snare around her neck. The snare had made a fairly deep cut in her neck. It's a trap for poachers, and she had been in there for about a month. This lady was with her baby giraffe. It makes it more urgent to save the mom. Rescuers needed to use a tranquilizer dart to free her from the trap and treat her wounds. 7 people have to put their body weight on their leaf to hold it down. She woke up. Now she will be fine and go back to her baby. That was the most challenging animal for the rescuers. His hoof had been run over, and a kind person had tried to rag to stop the bleeding. His protective mother panicked when she thought they were taking her baby from her. But she didn't need to worry because she was coming too. The toe of one hoof had been torn and would need many weeks of treatment to heal. Meet Bambi today. His leg is almost healed. With his mother nearby, he played, explored, and healed, but always found time for a comfort feed. He can't stop jumping and playing with his sibling. It is such a happiness to see this boy healthy and cheerful. Rescued during extreme flooding. The rescue team spotted the pup scared and alone on the porch of a flooded home. The sweet smile on the canine's face says it all. The poor guy had no way to escape the rising floodwaters. But fortunately, people found him and brought him to safety. Another dog who struggled from the storm was rescued as well. She appeared to have been left behind. Also, one reporter saved the pup who was about to drown in the rising floodwaters. And another rescue team pulled 2 cats out of the water. After, they brought them to safety. So do you see how storms can be dangerous for animals? But people always rush to rescue them. This doggy with a sad face got stuck in a pond with wastewater. Look at him. He must be really upset about this situation. A policeman took him back. He's not sad anymore. Be careful, sweet boy. A poor kitten fell into a river. The watermarks from her trying to get out is so sad. She's such a smart kitty. She used that blanket and saved herself. Be careful, sweet baby. This poor seagull was found in a dangerous situation. She was caught on the hook and hung on the line. These people were sailing in the middle of the river. They accidentally noticed the seagull. From a distance, it seemed that someone had tied her there. But having swum up close, everything became clear. People cut the line and began to pull the hook out of the seagull's mouth. The guys fixed her beak and carefully pulled the hook. After the successful rescue, they let the seagull go. The seagull looked tired, but she was safe. What a relief. She will not feel this pain and will live a happy seagull life. The bear walked around with a bottle on its head. It was stuck, and he couldn't get rid of it. The rescuers came and began to remove this bottle from the bear. The poor bear tried to get any food in the bottle, but unfortunately, his head got stuck there. He walked with it for a very long time because there were deep scars on his neck. He was struggling. It's a big fortune for the bear to meet the rescuers because they could get this bottle out and save him. Now he can live happy and breathe easily.